diseases of pear. So now we'll see the list of important diseases in pear. So my name is NH Shankar Reddy and I am doing PhD plant pathology in Annamal University. So coming to list of important diseases in pear. So these are the list. First one is fire blight, which is caused by Irvinia amylovora, and leaf blight or fruit rot, which is caused by Entomosporium maculatum, and bitter rot, which is caused by Glomerella cingulata, and black rot, which is caused by Physelospora abutis, and which scab, which is caused by Venturina perina. So now we will discuss in detail about one by one. So coming to first disease, first one is fire blight, which is caused by Erwinia amylovora. Here, fire blight of apple and as well as fire blight of pear is caused by Erwinia amylovora, as I told you in apple discussion. Apple presentation. So actually, this disease, fire blight, was initially discovered in pear. Later, it is also discovered in apple. That's why fire blight of apple and pear is caused by Erwinia amylovora. What are all the same symptoms that I had seen in apple, the same type of symptoms also we can see, along with initially firing of leaves, yellowing of leaves, and later inward curling of leaves, and the wilting of leaves, and they will fall down. And if we see the distance, firing like appearance can be seen. That's why it's called as fire blight. And coming to the fruits at maturity stage, it produce a thick gummy white ooze out like substance, especially during winter season. So especially during high humidity season as well as high winter season. So the infection is mainly the fallen leaves also can serve as inoculum. So we can better to destroy all these infected leaves. And these are all the symptoms of fire blight, as we've seen as like a fairly the same type of symptoms that we had seen in apple also. So coming to the management aspects, resistant or tolerant varieties like Kefir, Orient, Garber, and Douglas are recommended, along with balanced fertilizer application. And do not use excess level of nitrogen. Remember, because excess level of nitrogen can be helpful. The fallen leaves can utilize this nitrogen and they can serve as a inoculum. And pruning the plant parts during dormant months, and along with removal of infected pots or burning of the infected pots. So and then application of some bactericides. I think there is no commercial bactericides are available, but we can go with the antibiotics at 5 days interval, earlier of blooming and late blooming can be recommended. And these are all the management aspects. So coming to the second one, leaf blight or fruit spot, Entomosporium maculatum. So coming to the symptoms, we can see the spots on leaf and as well as fruits also can be seen. So in leaf, we can see purple color spots. In leaf, we can see purple color spots can be seen in leaves. So the same spots are the same little bit corky, like you can't say completely cork. Same purple or brownish color spots also can be seen in infected fruit also. Later, this infected fruit spots are converted into black in color. We can see here black corky like color. If we touch, we can observe, we can sense the rough surface on it. And fruit spots are normally a little bit big, and almost later stages we can see 1/4 of the fruit surface can be covered by this spots. Initially the spots are small, later they coalesces, and the major portion of the fruit get covered with this leaf blight or fruit spots. And in spring season, they produce spores which are washed out by washed out by rainfall, and it can spread to the leaves. And this is the leaf blight and fruit. So coming to the management aspects, fungicide should be applied at full leaf development and continue to 2 weeks interval for 4 sprays. And so the fungicide application can be continued for 2 weeks intervals. 4 sprays has been given in 2 weeks interval. Let us consider it as a 14 days. So four sprays has been given in 14 days interval, that is 2 weeks interval. So coming to the bitter rot, Glomerella cingulata, the same type of bitter rot we are also seen in apple, as like of during intercultural operations or during handling and storage or during transportation, a small uh, injuries can happen. So due to that injuries, rotting and softening of tissues will happen. So due to the fungus of Glomerella cingulata, rotting and softening will also, we can also see some white color mycelial growth in the unaffected area, and this fruit is completely soft. And initially small spots will happen. Later the spots with the development of with the time and development of spots also become very big, and we can clearly see the soccer shaped depressions. I mean soccer shaped depression where it produces cervoli, and these fruits are completely unfit for consumption. So coming to the management aspects, good sanitation will help to reduce the loss, and removal of all broken limbs or decayed fruits can be destroyed, and care should be taken while handling and transportation, along with spraying of any fungicides at 2 to 3 replications at 7 days interval can also be one of the management practices. So black rot, which is caused by Physelospora abitus, the name itself indicates rotting, that is black color rotting. We can see here that can covers the black rotting that can covers the fruit. Almost initially small spots may appear, so later it covers to the entire fruit, small block. We can see here clear, almost half fruit is covered with this black color appearance. Initially what will happen is small spots will appear, so later this all small light color brown color spots can coalesces, and a dense dark brown masses can be clearly seen and on the fruits, and sometimes rotting also can be observed in the lower region. If you see a depressed growth due to the heavy fungus development, I think a depressed growth also can be seen. If we, in initial stages we can see here small spots will appear, small brown color spots are brown color spots or black color spots with the white center. We can see that is white center might be the fungal development, I think. So this is the major symptoms of on fruits, and the same type of symptoms also we can see in twigs. So in twigs we can see this sunken or red color spots. In fruits we can see pink color, brown color, or reddish brown color spots with a white center, later extends and cover and completely converted into black rotting on the fruit. So coming to the management aspects, sanitation is one of the more important one for control, and the removal of dead twigs, limbs, and decayed fruits can be removed. And fungicides must be applied when the fruit is beginning to exposure to the spring. So during the starting of spring season, one fungicide application can be recommended. If required, another fungicide application also can be recommended. So coming to the next disease, scab, which is caused by Venturia pyrrhina. So symptoms are normally velvety color spots can be seen on stems as well as fruits, and as well as petal pods. Symptoms can be seen in fruits, leaves, and as floral petals also we can see this symptoms. Name scab itself indicates corky outgrowth or scab outgrowth. Scab we can see disintegration of tissues. So we can see here corky outgrowth or a deadening of tissues or dead-like tissues can be seen with a rough corky outgrowth can be clearly seen, and this size of the fruit also greatly reduced, and it is completely fails to get a market price. And initially small spots or black color spots or corky spots are developed. Later this all corky spots are coalesces, and it covers the entire surfaces. It look like a very old fruit, or a large amount of cracks can be seen. So this also coincide with the nutrient deficiency, but it's not a nutritional deficiency. So it is a scab. We can see this cracking of later stages. Maybe cracking also can be observed. And this is about scab, the symptoms of scab on fruit. So in so these are all the symptoms of scab in leaf. So in leaf we can see olivaceous black spots can be seen. Olivaceous black spots can be seen on the lower surface of a leaf. So in later stages, infected twigs also shows the same symptoms. So in infected twigs, we can see the blightening symptoms are blightening in the sense of wilting symptoms, or dying symptoms, or blightening symptoms can be seen in infected twigs. So in later stages, corky outgrowth can also be observed on leaf. If we touch with our hand, we can sense the corky outgrowth on fruits and as well as leaves also. Coming to the management aspects, chemical control seems to be one of the alternate practice, along with old leaves can be discovered and can be destroyed, and pruning of the infected plant pods exactly during time, and applying the dolomitic dolomitic lime after the leaf fall, because this application of lime can increase the pH so that amount of inoculum that can survive in leaf parts can be definitely reduced due to the application of dolomitic lime. And coming to the chemical control, during green stage, mancozeb 2 gram or chlorothalonil 2 gram per liter can be sprayed. And during blooming stage, carbendazim 1.5 gram per liter can be sprayed. And during young fruiting stage, copper oxychloride 3 gram per liter can be sprayed. And at maturity stage, and mancozeb 2 gram per liter can be sprayed. And at after harvesting stage, benomil at rate of 1 gram per liter can be sprayed. So these are all the different types of chemical sprays that can be required during various stages of crop growth.